Episode number 31.
Okay. All right. Are we ready to roll?
I already did the thing. What?
Good morning. It's Robert and Julia Miller with the J. Patel Group and Rethink Real Estate with another exciting real estate update.
It's been another week.
Been another week, another fast one.
Mm-hmm.
They're just flying by.
Yeah.
But a good one.
A good one. Yeah.
All right. As always, we'll start with a joke. You want me to go first this time?
Sure.
Okay. The best way to trace your family tree is to win the lottery.
That's true. Come out of the woodwork.
Yeah.
We wouldn't know that, but...
Third cousin Wally. I didn't even know you existed.
Yeah. Exactly.
All right, what you got?
Well, I heard that due to noise complaints, they passed a law in Hawaii.
Okay.
You can no longer laugh above a certain decibel. Now you can only use aloha.
Oh my gosh. That may be the worst dad joke I've ever heard.
I thought it was so funny. I love it.
You're sick. Wow. Okay, moving on to this week in history. 1992, April 28th, the USDA unveils new recommendations with a food pyramid.
Yeah, absolutely. 92, huh?
1992.
Seems like it's been around a lot longer than that, but okay.
Yeah. 1992.
Pizza has its own, like, level, right?
I think eclairs.
Eclairs.
Top of it.
Yeah.
Okay. 1990 Space Shuttle Discovery carries the Hubble telescope into orbit, April 25th. And if you remember right, they turned the thing on and it was blurry.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
And they thought, and then they were able to fix it. That was
Tap. No, I'm just kidding.
What a No, they didn't just tap on the glass. But that was a feat of engineering to get that fixed.
Yeah.
That was scary and fantastic.
Yep.
1989, student protesters take over Tiananmen Square in Beijing, April 27th.
Talk about scary and fantastic.
And I always have the vision, I always remember this by the video of the student standing in front of the tank, and he won't let the tank move.
Yeah.
So one student stopping a tank. That was kind of cool.
Very dramatic, yeah.
1986, on April 26th, the Chernobyl nuclear disaster in Kiev, Ukraine, kills 31. And there's a fantastic docudrama.
I think Netflix or HBO?
I think it was, it's either Netflix or HBO. I can't remember which, but it's excellent.
Very good. Yeah, it's very good.
1961, Robert Noyce receives a patent, April 25th, for the integrated circuit. 1961, the beginning of the computer era, the personal computer era.
Personal computer, yep.
They had monstrous computers in rooms.
Yeah, took up entire rooms. Yeah.
But that was the beginning of putting it into a laptop, desktop.
Yeah, desktop.
1945, delegates meet in San Francisco, April 25th, to form the United Nations.
Man, April 25th is just a big day, isn't it? It's just a big
lot
day.
happened April 25th.
Wow.
And then, of course, 1945 was important.
Yeah, 1945.
Into World War II. 1901, New York becomes the first state to require license plates, again, April 25th. The fee was $1.
$1.
I just renewed the plates on Jackie for 2 years for $170.
Jackie's My Little Runner car
Right.
is what we've named it. And $270, you said? $170 for 2 years.
For 2 years.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a far cry from $1.
Yeah. And I had to start somewhere.
Yeah.
1707, England, Wales, and Scotland unite May 1st to form Great Britain. And finally, 1429, Joan of Arc leads France to victory over England at Orleans, April 29th.
Yes.
That is your week in history.
A woman leader even back then.
That's right. Yeah.
Of course, she was burned at the stake.
Yeah, she was burned at the stake, but still,
yeah.
She's
memorialized
all the more
today.
that she was so brave, knowing her fate.
Yeah.
Economic news: tax talks, tanks, trading. Don't ask me to say that again.
Tax talks, tank trading. Okay.
Right.
Got it.
U.S. stocks dived late last week on reports of proposed hikes to capital gains taxes and income taxes on the wealthy.
Okay.
And that always happens when they talk about raising taxes. But then it recovered towards the end of the week, and we ended up pretty stable at the end of the week. So, GOP skinny infrastructure, and will get debated in the Senate and the House, but Senate Republicans introduced a $568 billion plan to improve the nation's physical infrastructure last week, cutting out the billions for elder care, child care, and job expansion, which makes up the rest of President Joe Biden's $2.3 trillion plan.
This is going to be, it's already been debated back and forth, this whole...
Yeah, they'll continue. I mean, it's a lot of money. You need to debate it and, make sure everything's getting thought about. So it's a lot of money. It's a lot of commitment for a lot of years. Supply chain, surging demand for consumer packaged goods. Remember toilet paper hoarding? To soup. Started with pandemic stockpiling. The boom hasn't abated much since, leading many companies to raise wages. There's always a silver lining.
Yeah.
Pay for food manufacturing workers climbed 3.4% from July through September 2020, while overall non-farm wages fell 0.8%. So
that's
a little good
the
news
supply chain is picking up, and then lumber is picking back up again. So lumber prices hopefully are leveling out.
Well, we're going to talk about lumber here. Fixing wood. Yeah, we're going to talk about it at regulatory news. Let's go to housing news.
Housing news first. Don't get ahead of ourselves.
Okay. New home sales rose 20.7%, which is good. We've been running at 18%, hoping to get over 20. Well, it actually this month, or last month actually, rose 20.7% to a seasonal rate of 1.02 million. That's 66.8% higher than March of 2020. So thank you, new home construction builders. You're doing your part to get our inventory back up.
Back to where
you're doing everything you can, I think, as fast as you can. Now, we've talked about possibly a little bit of leveling off that we may see. Not everybody agrees with that, but existing sales drop. Existing home sales fell 3.7% in March. And average sales for Q1 2021 fell 5.3% compared with Q4 2020.
And we'll see what April does, how we land for April, now that that's behind us. But
yeah, we'll get those numbers here in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of different ways that you can look at this, that what may be causing that sales drop.
Okay.
It could just be waning interest, being priced out of the market. Doesn't mean the demand's not still there, but pricing is dropping for other reasons. And this kind of leads into that. Properties typically were under contract in 18 days, a record low. So they're still selling very, very fast.
Yeah.
But the number of them selling is dropping.
It's dropping, yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see if we start seeing an uptick in the number of days it takes for them to go under contract. That'll be an indicator that an inventory starts going up a little bit.
Right.
That'll be an indicator that it's truly a slowing down.
Well, we'll look at inventory numbers at the end, but we've seen a slight tick up. Nothing to say days on market is getting longer. Just the amount of homes on the market we're seeing. Of course, it's the middle of the weekend at this point, so who knows? It could be just coming up for the weekend, and then of course Monday morning, Tuesday morning, it's back down.
We'll see. Always interesting Monday to see what the inventory
It
is.
is, yeah, versus Friday or Saturday.
Okay, moving on. Luxury homes surge. Luxury home sales rose 41.6% in the first quarter of 2021, far outpacing overall growth. The current inventory crisis is less extreme in higher price tiers, and that is very often the case. You're always going to have more inventory in the higher because you have less people in that buyer demographic. So you're always going to have more inventory.
And they typically will be on the market a little longer
exactly
than your average home.
Again, because there's
Right.
more inventory of it, so there's, there's not the emotional rush decision.
Emotional is the name of the game right now.
Yes, yeah. Regulatory news. Fixing wood. To deal with exploding lumber prices, 47% of home builders surveyed include price escalation clauses in contracts, tying the final price to the price of materials.
Ugh.
We're not seeing that
We
here
haven't seen
yet.
it yet, thankfully.
We are seeing regular increases in the base price. They're doing just a flat rate thing. So we have 3 new construction clients whose home have not even been completed yet, and they have between $20,000 and $40,000 in equity.
Right.
Before they even take possession of the home,
Right.
they're already up $20,000 to $40,000. So
Not that the builder is trying to tap into that equity. The builder is just trying to recoup some of their costs as lumber rises as the home is being built in production. So, they're trying to maintain their, what do I say? Their
profit
margin. Thank you. Yes, profit margin.
Yeah, that's well and good, but I still think, it's the beauty of our economic system is you're going to pay whatever you're going to pay whatever price the market will withstand. And there is, yes, some of that they're having to recoup higher prices on lumber and other materials, but part of it is they're charging what they are because they can. They still have to compete with other builders, so there's still that competition to keep things in check to some degree, but overall the demand is just driving home prices up. So
fair enough.
And we'll see if that again has an effect on the overall housing market and the number of sales taking place. So we'll see. Oh, Canada banks. So we talked about, we're always looking at the Fed to our own back door here in our own neighborhood to determine what's going to happen with interest rates. But we haven't talked about outside influences. So this is interesting.
Yeah.
In a hawkish move predicting a robust post-pandemic economy, the Bank of Canada last week became the first major economy to signal an end to monetary stimulus. Citing stronger than expected recovery, policymakers moved to scale back purchases of government debt and accelerate a possible interest rate increase. This is from Bloomberg. So that'll be interesting to watch. And maybe it's not so much in our government's control on where interest rates are going to some degree. So we'll see.
Okay.
Okay, there was an interesting article.
Special report.
In the Peoria Independent this week, article by Philip Haldeman. And this is something that we've seen and heard our California clients that have moved to Arizona talk about something they're seeing happening in their state because of so many people being priced out of the market. They were seeing bungalows going up in backyards and family members moving in, and there's a lot that goes into that. So City planners are considering accessory dwelling units, ADU, that's what those are called, accessory dwelling units for the city of Peoria.
And tell us what an accessory dwelling unit is,
Oh,
Robert.
well, an ADU is defined as a smaller independent residential dwelling unit on the same lot.
So if I built a mother-in-law house in my backyard.
And there's basically 3 different versions. You could convert a garage, a detached garage, say, in the backyard. We don't have many of those in modern residential because almost all garages are attached. But if you look in the 80s, 70s, you know, some of the older parts of the city, you'll see completely detached garage that can be converted into an apartment.
Right.
You can build a standalone detached ADU right in the middle of the backyard. Or what we are seeing more from new construction, we'll talk about that here in a minute, is an attached ADU. So,
Like a next-gen suite?
yeah, like a next gen.
Okay.
Okay, so
Okay.
there's a little bit of inconsistency here in this article, but it's not a big deal. But I just, you know, to date, Peoria code does not permit ADUs. Well, I know they do
They
because
do.
we have 3 of them under construction right now.
Unless they're not
So-
classified as an ADU, unless it's classified as part of the same residential unit somehow. I don't know.
Well, that falls under the attached ADU, though.
Yeah, exactly. So
So-
are we gonna go back and make all of those? Are they gonna be, they're probably gonna be grandfathered, but moving forward, is that gonna change permitting from the builders? They'll have to get a special permit for this ADU?
Yeah,
What does all that mean?
exactly. So, some of the benefits to the city: increased housing stability. Obviously, this gives
sure.
people a place to live that are looking for a place and can't afford to buy and can't find a rental. So, greater financial stability for the homeowner. So if they're renting it out, helps pay for their mortgage and, you know, additional income. Allow for direct oversight of a rental unit. Kind of cool that you can keep an eye on your rental property if it's sitting right,
See what's going on
you know,
with
in
your
your
tenant?
backyard.
Yeah.
Allow those priced out of the market to locate in neighborhoods. Now that's interesting because school preferences will fall into this a lot because this is a way, if you can't afford to get into a neighborhood you want to be for your purpose of getting your kids into a higher performing school, this may be an alternative for that. And that's going to bring up other issues. Okay, so if the school is built to accommodate a certain population and then they start adding these ADUs and the population suddenly jumps,
Right.
are the schools going to be able to handle the additional attendance?
Right.
Something to think about.
Or the teacher's gonna be overworked and, you know.
Yeah, are
there's
you
all
going to have
kinds
enough
of-
classroom space, you know, or you're going to go over the classroom size to accommodate a lot of
Will the
things to
school
think
budget
about.
support that?
Yeah, a lot of existing residents may not be too pleased about. You know, you've got to address Airbnb. You know, you can't turn these things into a weekly vacation
yeah.
rental where you have somebody
How are you gonna control that?
coming and going and street parking and noise party. These people are on vacation, they're
Right.
having pool parties, and you know that's
who-
going to be a problem.
Who's gonna control that? How's it gonna be controlled? Is it gonna fall on the HOA's backs?
You know, taxation, you know, that's how you're going to tax these. It's going to change the assessments because you have more living area now, so
Okay.
it's a separate address.
Right.
Utilities, are the utility companies going to be able to accommodate, you know, this particular neighborhood all of a sudden requires 25% more power or
Bandwidth.
supply or bandwidth, yeah, whatever.
It's kind
Are they
of
going to be able to
sore
accommodate
subject
that?
for me because I work from home. So yeah, bandwidth. It seems like there are days and times when more people are home and it seems like my internet slows, but anyway.
Yeah.
And we have some of the best internet around.
Yeah, we have fiber optic, but
Yeah,
sometimes,
and the highest package, but
yeah. And then what's it going to do to home values? More square footage is going to increase it, or is this going to be a deterrent, and is it actually going to drive prices down just because of the type of product it is?
All of these questions.
All these questions.
Yeah. So now this is something that we're going to vote on, or
they're just exploring
county
right
board
now.
is
It's just
looking at it?
yeah, it's just explorative right
Commissioner?
now. They've got a lot of questions. I'm sure they'll have some hearings and get input from
Okay.
residents and all of that. So
Okay.
yeah, so interesting article,
We'll watch
something
that.
that we'll have to watch and
The other interesting article that I'll have to pull, speaking of kind of a special update, the Peoria Times did a article a few weeks back about the water concerns in Arizona. And
Yeah.
we've had a couple people,
We've actually had people
question
decide not to
that
come to
and-
Arizona because they believe there's going to be a water crisis
Right.
in Arizona. And
so we'll bring you some information on that, possibly next week, if not in the weeks to come. I'll get some information on it, and we'll talk about that.
right. Okay, let's review rates real quick. 30
interest
year
rates.
actually ticked down slightly. I think we're at 3.18. We're down to 3.14.
Okay.
Not a lot, but it's stable. It's not, approaching 4, so
Right.
that's good. 15 years still well under 3 at 2.461, and VA is comfortable at 2.750.
Right on.
Okay,
Good numbers.
inventory, we ticked up. We're over 5,000 now. We haven't said that for a number of weeks.
Number of weeks, yeah. It's been a while.
Inventory, and again, this may be an indication that things are slowing down just a little bit. In the Valley, 5,064. Peoria actually ticked up just slightly, 142, and Surprise is now running neck and neck, 144.
It's a race.
It's a race. Yeah. Locally, Trilogy at Estancia still only has 5 listings, and the price is very tight range, 435,000 to 589,000 currently.
Okay.
Estancia Village 11, and there's actually several coming soon. So if you're looking in the village and you're wanting to anticipate what may be coming on the market, please give us a call quickly, and we'll bring you up to date on what the availability of those other 6 or 7 homes coming on the market are, and what they layouts and all of that.
Yeah, good.
Price range 425,000 to 775,000. Cortabella actually got down to 0 this week.
Oops.
Yeah, and or actually,
Cleaned house.
yeah, it was this week. I think on Monday when I checked, it had 0.
Yeah, I do remember you saying that.
Well, they have 4
Yeah,
now.
they have 4.
They have 4, and their price range is 480,000 to 775,000. The interesting thing is, if you add up the days on market for all 4 homes, the total is 7 days.
Wow.
There's like 2 zeros, a 1, and a 6 or something.
So again, it's a 72-hour sale.
Yeah. So if you want in
Putting it
Portobello,
on
you
the
better
weekend.
move quickly.
Yeah, like today.
Yeah. Sun City West continues to tick down. They're down to now 28. That is not very many for a community
That's
that
true.
size.
It's true.
204,900 up to 659,000 is the price range.
Yeah, we toured a couple of Sun City, well, those were Sun City homes that we toured this week, but
Yeah. Still plenty over there.
as low as 179,000 or
170.
170,000.
Yeah, we looked at
So that's
a
good.
2-bedroom, 2-bath, little patio home. Cute for 170. Yeah. Okay, Sun City West. Did I do that one? Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. Sun City Grand 16. Again, not very many over there. They do have one of their condos available, 164,900,
Okay.
and the highest priced home available, 739,900. You asked me to keep track of Blackstone Country
Blackstone
Club.
Country Club.
There are 4 homes available,
Ah.
and that would fall into that luxury home,
Oh, yeah,
you know.
yeah.
Price range 723,000 to $1,225,000.
All right.
So that means that 1,500,000 and whatever it
Yeah,
was went under
530,
contract. Interesting.
Yeah. Good.
All right, that's our report for this week. I hope everybody has a fantastic weekend, and a blessed week.
Yeah.
And we will see you again next week.
See you next week.
Take care. Good morning, beautiful. How are you?
Good morning. I'm good.
Look wide-eyed and bushy-tailed.
Yeah, well, 6:30 this morning on a Saturday.
Yeah.
To get up and use the hot tub for the first time. Well, second time.
Yeah.
Have a cup of coffee
awesome.
and it was.
I'm definitely
It was
relaxed.
very tranquil. Yeah.
All right.
Very nice.